Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Wow, this is awesome. It's so great to see all of you here. I hope you enjoyed your dinner. This is my family here, my parents, Joe and Jeannie, my mother-in-law, Joanne, my children, Lindsay and Zach, and of course, Karen, my wife. I'm so happy that you're all here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Rabbi?
All right, I'd like to invite up Leslie, Nancy, and Shelley to say a few words of welcome.
Thank you to Rabbi Stoller's beautiful family. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
It is our great honor to welcome you tonight as we celebrate the installation, is this on? As we celebrate the installation of Rabbi Brian Stoller as the senior rabbi of Temple Beth-El of Great Neck. As many of you know, in the Torah, the 50th year is the Jubilee year. And Rabbi Stoller just completed his 50th year yesterday. Happy birthday, Rabbi Stoller.
Thank you.
And the icing on the cake, our past year plus with Rabbi Stoller has been a Jubilee for us.
The installation of anything works best when the parts fit perfectly. And as far as we are concerned, we and Rabbi Stoller are a perfect fit. After an exhaustive search, our 12-person search committee, ably chaired by Jordana Levine and Ron Epstein, was delighted to have found Rabbi Stoller. And we were even more delighted when he chose us. The last 18 months have shown that perfect fit we dreamed of. Rabbi Stoller has blessed us with his intelligence, warmth, compassion, and commitment to our congregation. We see this through his sermons, teaching, personal interactions, and mandolin. His uncanny ability to recall our names after only a brief meeting is just one example of how he bonds with each of us. Most importantly, his insight is bringing us a new vision of our bright future.
This installation is a sacred occasion. As a congregation, we are entering into a holy covenant with Rabbi Stoller. Tonight, we, the congregation of Temple Beth-El of Great Neck, pledge to join with him in continuing our commitment to Judaism, the Jewish people, Israel, and social justice. For 9 decades, Temple Beth-El has been a pioneering congregation in the Reform movement. We have only had 3 senior rabbis in the last 93 years, represented tonight by the presence of our beloved Rabbi Emeritus, Jerry Davidson. This evening, Rabbi Stoller officially joins this illustrious group. Thank you for joining us as we begin the next chapter in the rich history of our congregation.
Our service on page 10, the word attributed to King David. Gina Hine ma tov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good and how pleasant it is for all of us, the brothers and sisters, the family of TBT, to dwell together. Hine ma tov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. 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 How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hey, Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shalom aleichem, 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 shalom aleichem. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hey, Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad.
Friends, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our musical guests, Sol Zimra. They are from Deerfield, Illinois, from Congregation BJBE, where I started my rabbinate in 2008. On the guitar, we have Andy Denon. On the bass guitar is Gary Schaffel. And on the mandolin, my inspiration, Marcus Newman. Welcome, guys. We're going to continue on page 20, Lecha Dodi, with a beloved melody for our congregation.
Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad ishmianu el hamiluchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shemu tiveret v'litilah Lecha Dodi Mikatara Ei Shabbat Mikrat Shabbat דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת מעלה היי שבת תקרא
If it is your custom to rise to greet the Shabbat bride, please do so.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי כלה, בואי כלה, לך דודי לקראת מעלה, היי שבת תקרא לך דודי לקראת מעלה
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I hope you'll join along with me on this prayer inside your programs this evening. The reading before Shalom Aleichem. Great leaders are driven by an unbending sense of purpose. They really care about an idea, values, a dream, or vision. Together, Rabbi, help us unlock our imagination. If our jaws don't drop a little bit, think bigger. Small, safe, calculated plans don't inspire. Get outside of your comfort zone. Get a little bit nervous. If you don't have butterflies, no one else will. A good leader must also know when and where to make compromises, to inspire, arouse, excite, and motivate people. You must show us who you are, what you stand for, and what you can and cannot do. Authenticity is the key. So know yourself, disclose yourself, be yourself. As we welcome the angels of Shabbat, so too do we welcome you officially as our rabbi.
We continue on page 24.
Rabbi Stoller, I had a different piece picked out for this until I read what you were just going to read. And then I decided that you gave us, back in Deerfield, the courage and the platform to do what it is we do. So we changed the Shalom Aleichem to something a little different. You know what it is, but it might be a little different. And it gives me butterflies, so I hope it gives you butterflies.
מלכי שם, מלכי עליון ממלך, מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שלום עליכם, מלכי שם, מלכי עליון ממלך, מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. I need a sign, let me know it here. All of these lines have been crossed out in the atmosphere. I need to know that things are gonna look on, 'cause I feel as drowned as sea spilled from a cup. And there is no place safe and no safe place to put my head. Malaki Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem, Malaki Shalem, Malaki Melech, Malaki Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I won't give up, you don't give up. 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 I need a sign, let me know you're here. But my TV set just keeps it out from being clear. I need a reason for the way things have to be. I need a hand to help me out. I need some hope inside of me. And I'm calling all you angels. And I'm calling all you angels. Shalom Alechem, Malaki Shalem, Malaki Melech, Malaki Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Alechem, Malaki Shalem, Malaki Melech, Malaki Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'm calling all you angels.
Amazing. So one of the hallmarks of Sol Zimra in their musical style is that they combine traditional Jewish liturgy with contemporary pop and rock music. So you heard that, a combination of Shalom Aleichem and the song by Train, the modern rock band. And that's one of the things I think they do that brings our liturgy to life, makes it relevant, and penetrates into our souls. Page 28, please rise.
Barechu, Barechu, et Adonai, et Adonai, Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Leolam, Leolam, Let's do that again, one more. Here come the words. Ready? Barechu et Adonai Hamevorach. Barechu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Va'ed. Live, here it's your turn. Yai la la la, yai la la la, yai la 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 la, yai la la la, yai la la la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la.
We continue on page 30.
dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Hooray, oh, Malayla, Golel, or mipne hoshe, Golel, or mipne hoshe, Behoshe mipne
On page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsebaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei lo malayla, golel al mipnei hoshe, golel al mipnei hoshe, vehoshe mipnei hoshe. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
I'd like to invite our executive director, Stu Botwinick, to come on up. There he is.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Before you can help anyone else connect to purpose, first, do it yourself. Finding your why is as much a process of discovery as it is creation. It begins by being authentic, so start with honest reflection. Together, who matters to me? What makes me want to get up in the morning? What do I do in my life that brings me a sense of meaning and purpose? When do I feel most alive? Why do I do what I do? That's my why. Everyone's why will be different. It might be related to your family, your work, or to your overall goals. As you discover and connect to your own why, you will be able to meaningfully help others do as well. They will sense your authenticity and purpose. As you become clear about what really matters to you, others will be inspired to do the same. As the Cherokee would bless their newborn children, so too we bless each other. May you live long enough to know why you were born.
Page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchut מתוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני
You may be seated. I'd like to invite up Jordana to come up. And we continue with Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת ואמונה כזו וקיים.
It is possible in this time of profound disruption for leadership to be a noble profession that contributes to the common good. It is possible, as we face the fearful complexity of life-destroying problems, to experience recurring moments of grace and joy. It is possible, as leaders of organizations, communities, and families, to discover deep and abiding satisfaction in our work if we choose not to flee or withdraw from reality. It is possible to find a path of contribution and meaning if we turn our attention away from the issues beyond our control and focus on the people around us who are yearning for good leadership and engage them in work that is within reach. It is possible to use our influence and power to create islands of sanity in the midst of a raging, destructive sea. We cannot change the way the world is, but by opening ourselves to the world as it is, we may discover that gentleness, decency, and bravery are available, not only to us, but to all human beings.
On page 40, we're going to sing Mi Chamocha. Now, Andy Denon, our guitarist and vocalist, is also a composer of Jewish liturgical music. And this piece, composed to the words of Mi Chamocha, is an Andy Denon original composition, actually in partnership with a gentleman named Neil Weinstein, who happens to be Rabbi Megan's uncle. Page 40.
Ba'elim Adonai Megamocha Negar Ba'kodesh. Again. Megamocha Ba'elim Adonai Megamocha Negar tehilo osefele Nora tehilot osefele Mechamocha Baeli Madonai Mechamocha Nedar Bakodesh Malchut Kara Uvenecha Bokeyam Lishnei Moshe uMariam Ze'eli Anu Here comes a lie. You knew they were coming. Ya la ya la la ya la la la. Super easy. Ya la ya la la ya la la la. Do it again. Ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la la ya la la la. Adonai lo leolam va'ed Adonai lo leolam va'ed.
The next prayer in our liturgy is Hashkivenu, which is a prayer for the nighttime. Its theme is vulnerability. The vulnerability that comes with the darkness and going to sleep and praying that you'll wake up the next day. Sol Zimra has developed a song that comes as a poetic interpretation of the traditional liturgy. It's adapted from a band called Trout Fishing in America. The song is called Lullaby, and Andy, Marcus, and Gary have brought the Hashkivenu liturgy into it. It's a very appropriate melody for this prayer. I've sung it a few times, of course, not anywhere nearly as good as they will.
Sure, it's great.
Close your eyes and I'll sing you a song. Lullaby. Sleep until the dawn. The crickets serenade echoes softly in the night. The stars are on the lake and the moon is shining bright. Don't worry, I'll leave the light on in the hall. Just go to sleep now, close your eyes. Close your eyes and listen to my song. Lullaby. Sleep until the dawn. The birds are in the nests and the cows are in the barn. The covers on your bed will keep you safe and warm. Don't worry, I'll be beside you should you fall. Just go to sleep now, close your eyes. Dragons in the sky, flying with their golden treasure. And if they catch your eye, wish is granted more than you can measure. I'll be beside you should you fall. Hashkivenu Adonai. cricket's serenade echoes softly in the night. Stars are on the lake, and the moon is shining bright. Don't worry, I'll leave the light on in the hall. Just go to sleep now, close your eyes. Ashkivenu Adonai.
Page 44. Let's read together. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברירו. Let's do that again. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בורא עולם. בהנה ובן בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בורא עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בורא עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בורא עולם.
We continue with the Amidah on page 46. Please rise as able.
Adonai sfatai tiftach, Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi agid tehilatecha, ufi agid Adonai sfatai תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. Page 50. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Finished your private meditations, you may be seated.
Page 62.
Imre
May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true, may they be acceptable to you, my rock, my God, my rock and my redeemer.
We now take the time to think of those who are in need of healing, whether it's healing of mind, of body, of soul, of spirit. If you're thinking of someone who's in need of healing today, please feel free to share their name as my hand goes around the room. Thank you. Thank you. We think of all those names said out loud and all those in our hearts and all those around the world who are in need of healing as we join together in Misha Berach on page 253.
May the source of strength, oh, bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Hi. Shabbat Shalom. I can't tell you how much I enjoy being here with you, and I know that Gail does as well. Some of you, it's great seeing so many of you that are old friends, and we've been through many years together, and I cherish them. Some of you are new faces and probably wonder what this old guy is doing up here. Certainly not his birthday. But I am thrilled that I have the opportunity to be here. And for those of you who do know me, I'm standing at the cantor's pulpit, but I do not plan to sing, so you can relax. I'm taking his light, which is very helpful. In any event, it is a very important evening, a joyful Shabbat in the history of Temple Beth-El. And it's an evening that we all rejoice in sharing together. Of course, it's also a time when our hearts are heavy, and we know that there is much pain in the Jewish world and around the world. And just looking over on the wall to the left, we are reminded of the tragedy that has taken place and continues to take place in Israel. And we certainly carry that burden as well, and much love in our hearts for all those people and their suffering. As Senator Schumer wrote in the New York Times yesterday, the solidarity that Jewish Americans initially received in the aftermath of October 7th has since waned and drowned out by hateful voices from our fellow citizens, even some whom we considered to be allies, as we know. While anti-Semitic acts have skyrocketed, indeed, American Jews are afraid on the streets and on the campuses and where they work. The scholar and writer on anti-Semitism, Barry Weiss, has taught us the long arc of Jewish history makes clear that the only way to counter anti-Jewish hatred is by an affirmative battle for who we are, by entering into the world with our values. And that truth, I think, really bridges the challenges that we Jews confront today in the outer world, as this day too, and this service of installation, of rededication to the strength and profound significance of the synagogue and its leadership. There's a bridge there. And this moment, this experience of dedication that we share with Rabbi Stoller and his colleagues and the leaders of this congregation and its membership, that bridge, that response that this congregation is making today is one of the answers to the tragedies that we know we must somehow confront. Now, I know that installations usually come at the beginning when one plugs in the dishwasher to see if it will work. But Rabbi Stoller's installation is much more of an affirmation and a celebration. As you've already mentioned so eloquently, you have come to know him quite well in the past year and more. He's inspired you, taught you, comforted you, and guided you. You are thrilled by his very nature, his character, his intellect, and especially by Brian's heart. I know your admiration and love will increase exponentially in the years ahead. Now, I hope that my presence here plays a little role of linking Brian and all of us with the congregation's past, especially with the remarkable heritage of Rabbi Jacob Philip Rudin, who led Beth-El for over 40 years. Rabbi Stoller, like myself, now becomes an heir to Jack Rudin's vision, skills, spirit, and symbolically, I like to think that Brian is being blessed also by him tonight, and through him by Rabbi Rudin's own senior rabbi and mentor, Stephen Samuel Wise, one of America's greatest spiritual leaders of the Jewish faith. Rabbi Rudin came to Great Neck in 1930, 93 years ago, to a I was not there. But to a congregation of 28 families that prayed in the community church and held religious school in the old Kensington School. Some of us remember it. Beth-El grew not only in size, but more importantly in essence, substance, and character, as has been said, to become a leading American synagogue and a flagship congregation for the growing Reform movement in America. It became known for its vitality, depth of programming, courageous innovation, and inclusive outreach, welcoming members otherwise excluded from Jewish life and linking its social justice vision with the people and institutions of other faiths. It was pioneering. The greatness of this temple emerged through the sacred union of its professional leadership, including assistant and associate rabbis, cantors, educators, and administrators, working together with a highly spirited laity that enthusiastically embraced the great potential of Reform Judaism through most of the 20th century. And that harmonious collaboration, I'm very happy to say, continues with mutual respect to this very day. The engaging, affirmative culture of this synagogue was never tainted with petty animosities, political disputes, or serious discontent with leadership, too often that plagued other synagogues. A shared sense of appreciation for Temple Beth-El always prevailed. Rabbi Stoller, I know that you are very grateful for this. You are a deserving, fortunate rabbi. Where are you? You are a deserving, fortunate rabbi, and you know it. And Beth-El is a blessed congregation in having you as their spiritual leader, and they know it. All this became clear to me in one of the first sermons by Rabbi Rudin that I had the opportunity to read. It was delivered here on Rosh Hashanah in 1954. I was just beginning my studies at the Hebrew Union College then and had no inkling that I would only 5 years later be standing beside him on the pulpit. It was a deeply touching sermon, expressing in a very knowing and understanding way his hopes for the intimate, personal lives of the congregants that he served, young and old. And Rabbi Rudin concluded his sermon in this way. He said, I think of the East European rabbi who received a gift for his school from a friend from America. The rabbi went around his little village showing not the gift, which was large, but instead showing everybody the letter and pointing to the closing words, look, he kept saying, see how my friend in America signs himself? Very truly yours. And then Rabbi Rudin said to his people, I am very truly yours indeed. And I'm certain that Rabbi Stoller, that will be your message to your people for long and precious years to come. And they will be very truly yours as well. Of course, this night invokes the past, but it is really about the future, about tomorrow. And that's why, Brian, you so wisely chose to have address us on your installation, Dr. Andrew Rayfield, president of the Hebrew Union College, Jewish Institute of Religion. Dr. Rehfeld is one of the most compelling, creative, and visionary leaders of today's Jewish community. The institution he leads trains for the future the rabbis, cantors, educators, and communal leaders, all of whom will guide liberal communities in America, Israel, and beyond. In his hands lie responsibilities that will fundamentally impact the destiny of Jewish life for the next generations. Dr. Rehfeld became president of the Hebrew Union College in 2019, not that long ago. His career has bridged the academic and Jewish professional fields as both a faculty member in political science at Washington University and as president and CEO of the Jewish Federation of St. Louis. His research and writing has focused on the intersection of democracy, human rights, justice, and institutional design. I tell you this because he brings precisely the combination of knowledge and experience that Jewish life desperately needs today. Thus, he has, in these early years of his presidency, effectively directed the HUC board and faculty in essentially rethinking the college's mission to educate and re-educate present and future Jewish leaders with the critically required academic wisdom and practical know-how in our dramatically changing American Jewish landscape. Dr. Rehfeld has just returned from Israel, where at the Hebrew Union College Jerusalem campus he officiated at the ordinations of a class of new rabbis who will be spiritual leaders of Israeli communities. But after October 7th, he remained there during these horrid weeks of the Israel-Hamas war, and he has been there to support the faculty and students during the tragic upheaval it has brought to Israel and its citizens. And so it is with great pride and joy we warmly welcome Dr. Andrew Rehfeld with gratitude and with great appreciation.
Rabbi Davidson, thank you for that speech. I'm glad my mother got it to you just in time. Very much appreciate it. What a delight it is to be with all of you today. Shabbat Shalom. I want to thank you, Rabbi Brummer and Cantor Davis, where are you, for your leadership. And most particularly, Mazal Tov to Rabbi Stoller on your installation tonight. We'll be talking about it a little later. And also to Karen Flahart. Where is Karen? You're right there, for your steadfast support. This is a solo job up here, but I know from experience of our graduates, it's anything but a solo job. I also want to recognize 5 other individuals in the congregation tonight. First and foremost, our future leaders, David Epstein and Rebecca Thau, our students, cantorial and rabbinic. You represent our future and everything we hope it will be, so thank you for being here. My team, Patricia Keim and James Gerland, who are here, over here somewhere right there, are joining, and my partner, Dr. Miggy Greenberg, who is here as well, and a 6th special guest sitting next to her, Richard Krantz, a former member of our Board of Governors. Thank you all for being here. I am mostly just so honored to have been invited to speak to mark this signal moment for Temple Beth-El and to celebrate Rabbi Stoller's 50th birthday. You know, it was said before, the 50th year marks the Jubilee year in Jewish life in which the land was allowed to rest. All debts were forgiven, slaves were freed. It was a year of renewal and recalibration, a year to focus and to rethink where you were going and where you were going to be heading. And so now I wish for you as a congregation, and you, Rabbi Stoller, a year of renewal for yourself and for this historic congregation, drawing on your pasts to address the pressing needs of your and our collective future. We have a great example of transformation in this week's Torah portion. In Vayishlach, we read of Jacob's all-night struggle with a messenger of God. Jacob's thigh is wrenched in the process. Transformation is, after all, painful. But Jacob does not give up, and his name is actually changed to Israel, transforming him into the one who struggles with God. At that moment of transformation, the Jacob who had been ceased to be. The Jacob who had tricked his brother Esau and deceived his father Isaac was now eager to reconcile with his brother and build a people who would aspire not to deceit, but to justice. And even though Jacob ceased to be, we don't mourn his loss. We don't say, oh, what became of Jacob? Where did Jacob go? We know he was still there, but he was transformed into something different so he could more effectively realize the very sacred purpose that he was meant to serve in his life. Jacob put his purpose ahead of who he once was in service to who he and we would yet be. My friends, how can we learn from Jacob? For we too are in a moment of transformation. For what we as an American Jewish community, as a Jewish people around the world were, has to become who we will yet be. And to frame this properly, and given the fact that we are in a temple of Reform Judaism, let me start with a historical question, a pop quiz. I was a college professor for 20 years, after all. Here's the question. What 19th century response to Enlightenment was successful only when it moved from where it began in Europe to its home in America because of the visionary ideas of a single individual in the Midwest whose innovations inspired millions of people throughout the 20th century until it confronted a transformative moment in the 21st? And we all know what the answer is, right? Exactly. Photography. Think about what photography was. It was an ancient tradition of visual representation that was transformed by the learnings and industry of science and technology brought on by the Enlightenment in Europe and in France, where it was invented. But it was cumbersome, it was bulky. It was the transfer of light onto metal plates. If you've seen pictures of Matthew Brady on the fields of the Civil War, you know the equipment that he brought. And it took George Eastman in Western New York, Rochester, New York, to create a process and a company to scale the movement of photography from metal into film and from film into a Kodak Instamatic and creating the Kodak company. How many of you had a Brownie or an Instamatic? You have to wait till I say Instamatic. If you raise your hand when I say Brownie, you might have been around when the Rabbi Davidson's, okay. Kodak becomes the company to deliver photographic images throughout the 20th century. But in 2007, something happened. What happened? Anyone know? The iPhone's invented, and in 2012, Kodak declares bankruptcy. Now, I should tell you, Kodak last year, I think, had $500 million of revenue, so we should only be so bankrupt. Nevertheless, the question that I have for you is, did I just tell you a story of decline or transformation? Did I tell you a story of decline or transformation? It's decline if we keep our eyes on the question of Kodak and film. But it's transformation if we look at the real purpose, the essence, as one of the readings tonight had talked about, the why, photography. Kodak as a company was so focused on the way it had always done things, film, and the Instamatic, that it lost sight of the fact that its purpose was to advance photography. Now, Reform Judaism does have a similar history to photography, with its origins in the 19th century Germany that modernized Judaism, but in a way that could not be sustained. It took an innovative man by the name of Isaac Mayer Wise, to create institutions in America in the 1870s. To scale and support the growth of a movement, the Reform movement. And post-World War II, Reform Judaism becomes the dominant approach to modern Judaism. And yet, by the start of the 21st century, we begin to see significant declines and signs of an iPhone on the horizon. I don't know if you have it here, but confirmation photos in synagogues like this often tell the story. When I was confirmed back in 1982 at Baltimore Hebrew congregation, there were 60 other students, and there's still a picture on the wall. The photograph is for some reason in black and white. We did have color back in 1982. But when I went back there, Baltimore Hebrew is still the largest congregation in Baltimore, but there are 16 students in the confirmation class. It's still a vibrant congregation, but it's doing it differently. The number of nuns, that is, individuals who affiliate as no kind of religious Judaism, just simply Jews without religion, has grown precipitously, has grown exponentially, not precipitously. The number of congregations there are, dues paying members, the youth movement, NIFTY, is a fraction of what it used to be. And incoming rabbinical school classes, Rebecca, are now better than ever because we are limiting the number of people. It's another way to say are smaller than ever. And not just at HUC, but at all modern Jewish institutions. And yet, I believe all of the things I just named are our film. They're not our photography. Because what is driving the change that's happening in the United States and throughout Judaism in the world is a transformation of the ideas of Reform Judaism that still continue to animate our institutions. They're thriving. People are seekers of meaning and purpose, looking for new ways of connecting with community. They're looking for different ways of belonging. And that gives me tremendous hope that so long as we have the courage to transform the way we do things, we too will be able to transform as Jacob did and become Israel so that our institutions remain vibrant. So how can Reform Judaism be thriving but our movement institutions challenged? Reform Judaism brought our tradition into the modern world by integrating reason and science, autonomy and choice, and universalism into the very fabric of our particularistic Jewish life. Reform Judaism recognizes that human beings are B'Tselem Elohim, made in the image of God, because of our unique ability to reason and to think. These values are grounded in our tradition as we study Judaism historically, our Torah and sacred texts the source of meaning and purpose. We value science as the most reliable, if incomplete, path to discovery the full majesty of God's creation. We cultivate a spirit of inquiry, and we elevate the virtues of curiosity, humility, and a sense of wonder by prioritizing that sense of reason and science. Through the exercise of reason, we become sacred partners with the source of all being in the unfolding work of revelation. Now, the values of thinking, of study, and inquiry that drive our program are themselves spiritual pursuits that motivate us, no less than the music that stirs our souls. And friends from Chicago, I am stirred. Thank you for being here tonight. They give poetic and artistic expression to our moral sentiments. But even these ritual practices for Reform Judaism are themselves founded on a rational basis that drives us and that explains our purpose. Engagement with community, cultivation with a Ahavat Yisrael, a love of Jewish people and Israel. And I see those pictures on the wall, and I was with those families who are waiting for their loved ones to return. And I think about what I saw in Israel, and thank you for your remarks, Rabbi Davidson, to keep what's happening in Israel in our mind. All of that inspires us to work on behalf of those whom we've never met. My guess is none of you have met those people, yet somehow your connection to this community and as Jews is allowing you to feel the empathy and connection of people you've never met before and understand that your fate and our fate are tied together. The philosopher Martha Nussbaum at the University of Chicago, herself a proud Reform Jew and member of a congregation, KAM Isaiah Israel there, asked the question, if justice is our goal, why do we need any of this? Why are we here davening? Why are we studying? Why don't we just aim for justice? Enough of the Judaism. And she answered it this way, quote, I do believe that one can be a good Jew without going to synagogue. I probably shouldn't have started with this quote, Brian. Not at your instant. I'll say again. I do believe that one can be a good Jew without going to synagogue by keeping the moral commandments central in one's life and acting on them. But she said it's difficult. Our world is so crowded, so noisy, so full of text messages, emails, all the incentives to self-promotion and narcissism that it is virtually impossible to focus on the moral imperatives of Judaism without heroic self-discipline and dedicated times for personal meditation. Each of us is very weak and easily distracted. The presence of others who strive for the same goals reinforces us in our dedication to those goals. The emotional structure of ritual moves and deepens our own emotions. Poetry and music are crucial avenues of self-searching and inner rededication to the just. It is all about meeting people where they are, welcoming in those who wish to join, and creating the kind of community that Temple Beth-El has created, and thinking about how we do that in the future. Now, these ideas that have driven Reform Judaism and are at our core continue and have become pervasive in areas of all modern Judaism. And it's important to realize and recognize just how successful the heritage on which this temple and our movement are built. Let me share with you 3 very brief stories to illustrate this. The first is a story of a young woman who was so inspired by Rabbi Sally Priesand, the first woman to be ordained a rabbi at Hebrew Union College, but in the United States, at Hebrew Union College in 1972. And a young woman who was so inspired by that during her childhood that she became a rabbi herself. Now, it's a familiar story, except for one important detail. The person I'm talking about is now named Rabbah Sarah Hurwitz. She's the founder and president of Yeshivat Maharat, a liberal Orthodox yeshiva for women. The second story. When Reform Judaism began, it celebrated informed choice of autonomous individuals, as prior to any community dictates or obligations that we had to the rabbi as authority, replacing the rabbi instead as teacher, as the rabbi had always been. And it was the conservative rabbi Harold Schulweis who took this reform core idea and purportedly is the first to observe that today we are all Jews of choice, whether you're Orthodox or conservative or Reform or Reconstructionist. It's a sentiment that's been widely embraced by Jewish leaders from all denominations. Final story. According to Pew, the Pew Research Study, members of one Jewish denomination, Orthodox, Conservative, or Reform, here's another quiz coming up for you, members of just one of those denominations say that social justice is an expression of their religious identity at a significantly higher rate than the other two. So here's the question: is it Orthodox, Conservative, or Reform that say social justice is an expression of their religious identity at a higher rate than the other two? How many of you believe it's Orthodox? Raise your hand. One, okay. Two. How many of you think conservative Jews think social justice is a part of their expression of their religious identity at a higher rate than the other two? Raise your hand. And how many of you think Reform Judaism thinks that? You're all wrong. And it was as surprising to me as it is to you. You might be surprised that more Orthodox Jews say social justice is an expression of the religious identity than those who identify as either conservative or Reform. 45% compared to 33% and 34% of Reform and Conservative. For those of you interested in statistics, I'll be holding a side seminar a little later about why that is. It's a real result, and it's interesting why it is. But I'm sharing these stories to illustrate that our modern Jewish communities today are differentiated far more by the cultural practices that embrace communities, that create communities of meaning, purpose, and practice, that their members choose to take on, than any principled ideological commitments that they feel. All modern Jews accept that our faith must be bounded by reason and science, that many who live halachically, that is, for Jewish law, do so out of their own prior choice that they consciously exercise to sublimate their will to the community rather than the imposition of communal choice and authority on a rabbi, as in fundamentalist Jewish communities, what we call ultra-Orthodox, but I would encourage us all to call it what they are, fundamentalist communities. So all of the key revolutionary ideas that define Reform Judaism have become part and parcel of the ideological operations of all modern denominations. Reform Judaism, as a response to modernity, has succeeded overwhelming, in reforming Judaism. We should take pride in that. We should know that that is our legacy and our heritage and build on that. Now, I don't mean to say that the struggle is over. The gradual opening of all modern movements to female clergy, LGBTQ plus equality, Jews of color, it still has a long way to go. Among those on our non-fundamentalist religious right and in our own communities. But slowness and resistance to change on these core moral issues has replaced refusal that characterized, say, modern Orthodox that accept science communities even a few days ago. There's no sociologist of religion, or I'll put it this way, any sociologist of religion, the question is not whether change will come, but when. So how then do we respond? If our photography has been spread widely, how do our institutions of Reform Judaism avoid becoming Kodak? And here I think we must embrace the core ideas that define who we are for a new generation. And continue to ask, not how do we recreate what we used to be in the hopes that we will draw and become what we used to be, but rather what must we do to realize what we will yet become. So here's the good news. Digital photography that drives the iPhone today, the very technology that would put Kodak out of business, was developed by a man named Steve Sasson in 1975, and it was developed in Rochester, New York, in the labs of the Kodak Corporation. Kodak had the technology, it had the talent, it had the resources to create their own future. What they lacked was the courage and determination to change. They lacked the courage and determination to stop doing things the way they always had. They were committed to the institution rather than the principles that the institution was built to serve. Now, I can share a lesson from our work today that Rabbi Davidson mentioned that may be an inspiration to you. For us, HUC is and must remain a global academic center of applied Jewish wisdom in North America and in Israel, encouraging a modern experimental approach to the study and application of Torah, to Jewish ideas and practices. We are and must remain an academic center of applied Jewish wisdom, a laboratory of academic inquiry, spiritual exploration, cultural creativity. And it's through our faculty and alumni that we prepare rabbis, cantors, educators, and nonprofit leaders. And through them we deepen Jewish education, engagement, and identity. And it's this work, not anything else, that defines who we are, to help Jews around one another, to support one another, and to support a safe, secure, and democratic Israel free from terror, promoting justice around the world. Now, how do we do that? We don't do it by clinging to what we have always been. And we have, over the last few years, made hard choices because we came to realize that our campuses in Jerusalem, New York, Cincinnati, and Los Angeles, our campuses are places where we do our work. They are not the work we do. By prioritizing academic excellence, we are now seeing significant growth in our rabbinical, cantorial, educational, and nonprofit management programs. Applications this year to our rabbinical school are running 3 times what they were last year. And we're seeing that drive in other programs as well. As Temple Beth-El now begins its new era under the leadership of Rabbi Brian Stoller, who has become already a beloved teacher in your 1 year of teaching with us, 2 years? 1 semester of teaching with us. The stories I hear. It's been a very long semester, though, hasn't it? You are privileged to have a gifted leader with not only the vision to see opportunities that disruption provides, but the courage to make change. And he's made change in his own life before even entering this world. His first career was in politics, working on campaigns in his home state of Texas before moving to Washington and work on the Hill. And Rabbi Stoller, though, was probably very good experience for your current job right now. It was following the September 11th attack and the unrelated death of a childhood friend that Rabbi Stoller followed his deeply held desire to become a rabbi achieving his ordination, continuing his devotion to learning and leadership through doctoral studies at HUC. And this courage, this integrity to be and to realign yourself with your core mission and purpose is what makes you such a good leader and such an inspiring leader, and one of our beloved faculty members and inspiration to our students. As he has said, quote, "I believe that when we finally discover our personal pathway into Jewish life, something happens that ignites a spark in our soul, changes our life forever. I believe this because it happened for me." And that infectious spirit will be infectious and spread and inspire others. That is the talent, the courage, and resourcefulness that will be necessary to transform our institutions at a time of major shifts within North American Jewry. I am confident that so long as we keep our eye on the great good purposes that our institutions were designed to advance, we too will emerge from this moment successfully. Not looking at all the past that has declined, but looking at the new innovation that's growing. Temple Beth-El was founded on this spirit of transformation, keeping its great good purposes at its forefront, willing to adapt and transform to meet its mission. You've avoided Kodak's fate because you have known all along that you are not in the business of selling film and instamatics. You are in the business of photography, creating vibrant communities of modern Judaism, no matter what that might look like in the future, even if it looks dramatically different from what got you here to this point. Temple Beth-El has been a great partner to us at HUC. We're grateful for your support. Congratulations again on the installation of your new visionary rabbi, whose own life embodies this very sense of courage and transformation you will need to be successful. May his 50th birthday, his Jubilee year, be a renewal for him and for you, and I cannot wait to see what you and him will together yet become. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. This whole experience tonight has been absolutely incredible. for me. I am deeply touched by the outpouring of love from this congregation that I'm feeling tonight, and which in truth you've shown me from the very beginning. I have said this before, and I'd like to say it again. I feel so incredibly blessed that you chose me to be your rabbi. Temple Beth-El is the perfect fit for me in every way, and I am so happy to be here. It's like they say about true love. When you know, you know. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me this opportunity to be your rabbi and for welcoming me, Karen, Lindsay, and Zachary so warmly into the TBE family. I feel truly honored, blessed, and grateful to be here. I want to say a special thank you to Jordana Levine and Ron Epstein and the Rabbinic Search Committee for bringing me here, and to our outstanding lay leadership and professional team for making TBE such a warm, caring, thoughtful, and inspiring place to serve. Thank you also to the wonderful volunteers who work so hard to put this celebration and service together. Shelley Limmer, Leslie Abrams, Nancy Lowenkron, Jordana Levine, Barbara Podwall, Sherry Goodman, Ron Epstein, Larry Siegel, Elaine Springer, Gary Slobin, and my wife Karen, along with my incredible colleagues, Joy Allen, Stu Botwinick, Rabbi Megan, Cantor Adam, Joy Polevsky, Stacy Pomel, Sherry Arbitel Jacoby, Carrie Horn, Karen Wasserman, Danny Alvarez, and our dedicated maintenance team who makes our building run. And of course, I want to thank my amazing family, Karen, Lindsay, and Zachary. We clergy do not make life easy on our families. We work crazy hours and late nights. We move from city to city. We rely on our spouses to do much, much more than their fair share of the housework and financial management and life management than they should have to. Karen, you do all that and more for our family. I cannot adequately express the extent of my gratitude for all your love and support. But please know that I know that without you, the chances of me functioning as a human being in this world would be basically zero. She knows. Although this installation officially, if somewhat belatedly, marks the beginning of my tenure here at TBE, in many ways, standing here this evening feels to me like a fulfillment. There's a Seinfeld episode where George coins the phrase, worlds colliding. It's when people from different parts of your life come together in the same room. Tonight, my worlds are colliding in a profound way, and I find it exhilarating. My parents, Joe and Jeannie Stoller, are here. They gave me life 50 years ago and have encouraged me the whole way. They are my confidants and my biggest supporters. My best friend since second grade, Ben Walter, and his wonderful family are here. And we basically grew up in each other's houses, but we hadn't lived in the same city in 30 years until I moved to Great Neck. Now we get to hang out again, and our children get to be part of each other's lives. My mother-in-law, Joanne Flahart, is here. She has always gone out of her way to support our Jewish family and ensure that we have everything we need to celebrate Shabbat and holidays when we're with her. She's had more meals in a sukkah and attended more rabbinic installations than any other devout Methodist I know. I am blessed that my great friends, Andy, Marcus, and Gary, otherwise known as Sol Zimra, are here. They've been inspiring me with their music since I was the associate rabbi at their congregation, BJBE, in Deerfield, Illinois. And my beloved friend, Sally Kaplan, from Temple Israel in Omaha, Nebraska, is here too. Sally, more than anyone, has helped me enlarge my perspective as a rabbi and a team leader, and is one of my closest confidants. In March of 2020, at the beginning of the pandemic, I started a daily virtual morning minyan that today brings Reformed Jews together from not only Great Neck, but also Chicago, Omaha, New Jersey, and elsewhere. Anita Dansker, who lives in Indiana, has been one of our regular participants since almost the beginning, and she's here tonight too, representing our Minyan community. There's Anita. And finally, I am so honored to welcome our esteemed teacher, Dr. Andrew Rayfeld. I have the privilege now of serving as an adjunct faculty member at Hebrew Union College, where he is the president. And one of my students, David Epstein, is here along with his wonderful girlfriend, Rebecca, who's also an HUC student. Dr. Rayfeld, I want to thank you for this incredible opportunity to teach and mentor the future clergy of the Reform movement. It is such a joy in my life and a fulfillment of my academic aspirations. I admire Dr. Rayfeld for many reasons, but chief among them is for how he is leading HUC through this time of rapid change and major disruption. The present moment demands a wise and visionary leader who is willing to make tough decisions to secure the long-term future of the college and of Reformed Judaism. And Andrew Rayfeld is that leader. It hasn't been easy for him. But he's led the whole way by looking beyond the horizon of what others can or want to see, and with an unwavering commitment to doing what needs to be done. As the strategy guru Simon Sinek puts it, great leaders set up their organizations to succeed beyond their own lifetimes. This is what Andrew is doing. HUC is blessed to have him at the helm, and I look to him as a role model of courageous leadership. We at Temple Beth-El can learn a lot from what Dr. Rayfeld and HUC are doing. The landscape of Reformed Judaism is in the midst of a tectonic shift, and both our institutions are experiencing the effects of it. We feel it every day here in Great Neck. One response to our changing environment could be to lament the fact that our community isn't what it was back in the day. But we're not going to do that. We are not going to dwell in the past. Instead, we're going to honor this congregation's proud legacy by embracing the challenges of the present and making bold decisions that will ensure a vibrant future. Since our founding in 1928, each successive generation of congregants and lay leaders and clergy has contributed its own chapter to the profound story of TBE. Our responsibility to them is to write the next chapter in a way that advances the story in a coherent and exciting way. To succeed, we have to be willing to see today's challenges as incredible opportunities. We are the ones who get to decide what the future of Temple Beth-El and Reformed Judaism on the North Shore of Long Island will be. And we are the ones who get to make that vision a reality. From the first day I met with the Rabbinic Search Committee, it was clear to me that TBE is a congregation of smart, serious people who are deeply in love with this community and who are ready to act courageously for its future. In October, we launched a strategic visioning process spearheaded by some of our congregation's most thoughtful and dedicated leaders, all of whom have deep knowledge of TBE and of Great Neck. This group will chart our course for our next chapter with love and consideration for all of us. We are in great hands, and I am confident this process will lead to amazing things for our community. The chance to do this kind of work and to do it with such wonderful people on behalf of a caring, devoted, and actively involved congregation like ours is what made me want to come here. In so many ways, being the rabbi of TBE is a professional, personal, and spiritual fulfillment for me. And I am eager to help lead our congregation in fulfilling the next stage of its purpose and destiny. Thank you for this incredible opportunity, and thank you for putting your trust in me. Shabbat Shalom.
I'd like to invite up all of our past presidents to the bema to surround our current president, Gary Slobin, as he says a few words. Yes, all the past presidents are surrounding you.
Oh, my goodness. Shabbat Shalom, folks. Are you coming up or no? Okay. All right. Where's Jordana? Jordana? Where's Jordana? Come up. She's the next president, so come on up. Jordana, come on. Is everyone still awake for a few more words? No, we've had great speakers. I'm so inspired by Sol Zimra. I kind of wanted to get up here and sing a song for you, but I think you'd all run for the doors if I did that. Thank you, Rabbi Davidson, and thank you, Dr. Rayfeld, for coming and joining us in this really important time in our synagogue's life. It is really with great pleasure and profound gratitude that I stand before you today on this momentous occasion, the installation of our new rabbi. This is a significant milestone in the life of our synagogue, a moment filled with hope, promise, and the embrace of new beginnings. I've never thought I would be participating in the installation of a rabbi. I've installed software, I've installed furniture, I've never installed a rabbi, but this is really tremendous. Seriously, I'm truly honored to participate in this occasion as the president of this congregation. I've always said I may not have been the best president this synagogue has ever had, but I think I was the right president at the right time for the synagogue. And I truly believe, thank you. Thank you. And I really, truly believe that this is the right rabbi at the right time for this congregation. First and foremost, I want to express my gratitude for the presence of each and every one of you here today. Your commitment to our synagogue is the bedrock of our community, and your support has allowed us to thrive and continue to be a beacon of faith, love, and compassion. Thank you for your ongoing dedication, and I look forward to the exciting future that lies ahead for us under the guidance of Rabbi Stoller. I'd also like to thank the Rabbinic Search Committee, chaired by Jordana Levine and Ron Epstein. It is important to acknowledge that our dedicated committee members invested a lot of time, energy, and love in finding the right person to lead us. We owe them a debt of gratitude for their hard work.
The committee members were Debbie Bernstein, Jen Still, Joanne Davis, Leslie Abrams, Nina Koppelman, Nancy Lowenkron, Doug Maddenberg, Larry Kazam, and Bruce Kaffenbaum. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to Leslie Abrams, Shelley Limmer, Nancy Lowenkron, and their committee who worked tirelessly with Joy Allen and our staff to bring us this beautiful and very important evening. As we usher in this new chapter, let us take a moment to reflect on the essence of leadership in our sacred space. A rabbi is not merely a spiritual guide. They are a pillar of strength, a compassionate listener, a teacher, and an advocate for the collective well-being of our community. Rabbi Stoller has already demonstrated his passion for fostering inclusivity, nurturing a sense of belonging, and cultivating a space where everyone feels heard, valued, and supported. The passing of the torch from one generation to the next symbolizes continuity and growth. Our previous senior rabbis, including Rabbi Rudin, Rabbi Davidson, and the Rabbis Feldman, laid a strong foundation upon which we built our synagogue, our community, and our faith. We express our deepest gratitude for their unwavering dedication and guidance throughout the years. And now with Rabbi Stoller, we embark on a new chapter, a chapter filled with promise of growth, innovation, learning, and shared experience. Rabbi Stoller possesses a keen intellect, a wealth of knowledge, and a compassionate heart. He brings fresh perspectives, profound wisdom, and a sincere desire to nurture the spiritual growth of each individual within our congregation. As we extend our heartfelt blessings and support to Rabbi Stoller, let us also reaffirm our commitment to stand together, to learn together, and to grow together. Let us continue to weave the fabric of our synagogue, a tapestry of faith, compassion, and unity. On behalf of the congregation, I am honored to present you, Rabbi Stoller, with the gift of this beautiful yad. You can open it. I haven't seen it. That is a beautiful yad.
Thank you. Thank you, it's beautiful.
The yad serves as a symbol of the relationship between the Jewish people and the Torah. The yad tip is shaped like a hand. It is symbolic of the relationship and covenant between our sacred congregation and your rabbinate as we join hands and walk this sacred path together. Rabbi, as you officially take on the mantle of leadership, know that you have our full support and trust. May your tenure be blessed with strength, wisdom, and boundless inspiration. May your teachings illuminate our hearts, and may your guidance uplift our spirits. As we complete each book of the Torah, it is customary to repeat the words, Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek. I hope I didn't butcher that. Okay. Be strong, and we shall strengthen one another. These words are typically recited as a congratulations. So today I say, Chazak, Rabbi Stoller, may you be strengthened. Chazak, Rabbi Stoller, may you be strengthened. V'nit Chazek, Rabbi Stoller, and our Temple Beth-El community, may we strengthen one another. As together we continue to build this great synagogue for the glory of God, Torah, and Israel. Thank you. Wait, I got one more thing to say. I'm sorry. I know it's a lot, but our dear friends, Rabbis Feldman from Israel, really thought it would be important for us to hear their message to Rabbi Stoller, so I have a short message from the Feldmans. Dear friends, we are thinking of our Temple Beth-El family with much joy on this beautiful Shabbat of Rabbi Stoller's birthday installation. What a magnificent milestone. These dark and challenging days require true leadership, grounded strength and vision, heart and intellect, authenticity and compassion. Rabbi Stoller embodies each of these attributes. His leadership has already impacted and uplifted our Temple Beth-El community in beautiful and powerful ways, and we are excited for all that is to come. May our beloved Temple Beth-El community continue to go from strength to strength with blessings from Jerusalem, Tara and Mayor.
I'm going to invite our presidents to go in front of our podium and invite up Rabbi Davidson as well, as we're going to pass the Torah from generation to generation to Rabbi Stoller.
Please rise.
Please rise. You're going to go, you're going to be right next to Rabbi Stoller. Come on this side. Come on this side. Alrighty. Oh, that's very loud. In our booklets, on the back of our booklet, we have a prayer for Rabbi Stoller that our past presidents are going to lead.
So small. Okay. Are we ready? What are we reading? This? All right. Moses received the Torah at Mount Sinai, and it has been transmitted to us by Joshua, then the elders, the prophets, the sages, and today our own rabbis. Rabbi Stoller, that chain of tradition links Sinai to this very moment and continues now as it has in every generation as we place this Torah scroll in your arms. May God bless you and this congregation. May God instill in you wisdom and righteousness, steadfastness and devotion, a wise heart, candor, and courage. We ask that you be a pursuer of peace, tikkun olam, and social justice, loving all people and drawing them closer to the Torah. And may we respond to every challenge with dignity and compassion, embodying the finest teachings of our tradition.
My God and God of my ancestors, I pray that you will be my guide as I humbly pursue the task of leading this holy community. May we work together as sacred partners to fulfill this vision and mission of this Kehillah Kedosha. May I never lead them astray knowingly or inadvertently. And may my hands and heart be ever faithful in serving you.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav v'elecha v'yichuneka.
May God's light shine within you, and may God ever be gracious unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha vayasem lecha shalom shalom.
May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace.
Together we say,
Amen.
Amen. Let's sing together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם לזמן הזה.
You may be seated. As always during our service, we think of those who are no longer physically with us, but are always with us in spirit and in our hearts. We think of those, if you have someone that you're thinking of, whether they passed away in the last week, the last month, the last year, or at this time in years past, please feel free to do so as my hand goes around the room. One moment, please. We think about the ones who have passed in these past 30 days. Maurice Epstein, Elaine Grant, Robert Kirschenbaum, Edgar Joseph, Arthur Litz, Jeanette Litz, Barry Parker, Melvin Rothman, and Audrey Sussman. And the yard sites of Pauline Brown, Marjorie Chaplin, Bertha Feldman, Rose Goldberg, Erwin Hershen, Robert Kirschenbaum, May Lieberman, Richard Bradley Lulov, Sheldon Lulov, Harry Markowitz, Joe Maidenberg, Artie Pincus, Rose Ross, Melvin Rothman, and Estera Zimmerman. And we also think of Stanley Wolf and Rose Marcus. And we also think of Stephen Tellis, who has not been buried yet but passed away this week. If the name of your loved one was not said out loud and you'd wish to add them to the list, please feel free to do so as my hand goes around the room. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We think of those names said out loud, those names in our hearts, and all those who have been killed in the last couple months in violence. And we continue on page 294 and rise, as is our custom, for Mourner's Kaddish. Yit kadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach chute v'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon iv'mechon uv'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'gala ubizman kari v'imru
Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach ve'elam lamei almaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitzar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudashah b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru
Amen.
Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim alenu v'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Alenu v'al kol Yisrael.
Amen.
Amen.
May the one who makes harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world. May their memories be for a blessing. We say together.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. If you enjoyed our service this evening and the music of Sol Zimra, please come tomorrow morning
You
at
may be seated.
9:15. At 9:15, Sol Zimra and I will be teaching a special integrated music and text Torah study, followed in the chapel, followed immediately by a Shabbat morning service, led by Sol Zimra and our clergy, a vibrant sing-along, inspiring service, followed by lunch. So thank you, everybody, for being here and for participating, our wonderful everybody.
One announcement.
Yes.
Quick announcement, next week on Saturday night, our teens are doing a midnight run. If you have any old warm jackets or shoes or something that are still in good enough condition and would like to donate them to the temple, there will be donation bins in the lobby between Saturday evening during the times that temple is normally running. We would love to have your donations to be able to donate them to those who need in New York City.
Wonderful, thank you. And we're going to close.
Believe it or not, Thursday starts Hanukkah.
Yeah.
So get your menorahs out. And if you haven't done so already, find Ronnie Crown and get your candles so you can get lit. And join us on Friday night as we welcome a very special set of musical guests, the Gelt Melters. But for now, let's turn our attention to Soul Zimra as they take us out with one final song.
Sometimes I lay under the moon. I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. 'Cause all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day. Oh, yeah, yeah. One day, one day, one day. It's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when they feed on the souls of the innocent. Blood-drenched pavement, keep on moving, all the water still raging. In this maze, you can lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it phase you, no way, no way. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Oh, yeah, yeah. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day. One day the soul will change, treat people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. And they will all be free and proud to be under the same song, singing songs of freedom like
Ose Shalom Bimroma. We are Ose Shalom Aleinu Ve'akol Yisrael Ve'imru Amen.
All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and the children will play. One day, 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 one day. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
There are lots of treats and oneg in the social hall. Please go have some desserts and treats.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Oh, this is fantastic. It's
Thank you. I'm Andy. Oh, the name of the band? Oh, I'm Andy Denny.